Hi guys, how's it going? So today I am going to do a first impressions let's play review of Gloria Victis Siege Survival. Now there is a prologue version, which is literally a demo version, available of this game on Steam, but this is not that. This is the full release of the game. It is simply a like a media build kind of thing. So I'm literally playing the version of the game that you can't buy yet. The game releases on the 18th of May, and I don't know the price yet. The price isn't made available yet, but I think it should be around $30 or so. So I'm gonna work on the assumption that the game costs $30. Obviously, when you review a game, you need to take into consideration the cost of the game as well. If it's a shitty game, then you can pay $10 for it and that will be no problem. If it's a shitty game and it costs $30, then that will be a problem. So we will work on the assumption that this game costs $30, but like I said, this is the full version of the game that I was granted access to. It's not the demo version that is currently available on Steam. So what you are going to see in this video is the full version of the game. I'm going to play the game for an hour or two, and then by the end of the video I'm going to give you my opinion of the time that I have spent with the game so far. As always, if you only want to hear my opinions, if you don't want to watch the full hour or two, whatever of the video, just jump to the last 5 minutes or so of the video and I will give you my final opinions in the end of the video. So first off, it's not really a massive problem, but the game has no full screen windowed option. Usually a game must have a windowed option, full screen option, and full screen windowed option, or it's sometimes referred to as a borderless full screen option. So the game has only full screen and windowed. It does not have a windowed borderless full screen mode. So that's the first issue that I really see. Then the quality options are very lacking. You only can choose low, medium, or high. You can't choose shadow quality, you can't choose anti-aliasing, nothing like that. So the quality options are very much lacking, unfortunately. But yeah, otherwise than that, there's not really much else we can critique right now. So let's just go ahead and jump into the game. So we get the main scenario with tutorials, and then these two are not available in the preview build. Obviously, as I said, I'm playing a preview build, which is a special build created for quote unquote the media, and it literally has the main scenario and all of that. It's not limited like the demo version that is available on Steam. So let's jump into the game. So this is obviously a pre-rendered cinematic. It's not really in-game graphics. The 6th day of summer, the year is 1205, Kingdom of Midland. We were just starting harvest when the Ismurs struck out of nowhere, catching us off guard. Horns of war sounded throughout Idring, and the smoke-filled city streets ran red with the blood of its citizens. The savage warriors from Karlgard had invaded our home. It sucks that there's no voiced stuff for this. I really don't like games where you have to read it. It's just a little bit of a sign that the devs were a little bit lazy, too lazy to hire voice actors. The town guard fought bravely, but the Ismers were too many. Before long, the raiders were in the main square and the city center stood in flames. So all we could do is send a messenger out to summon aid, while the outnumbered guards focused on protecting. This game does have a kind of a visual novel RPG element where you can choose between certain options. It also has certain attribute checks. So in some of these options, you will get the attribute check where, let's say you have 10 strength, then you can do a certain dialogue option. Or if you have 10 intellect or charisma or anything like that, then you can do another dialogue option. So the game features that kind of a dialogue RPG system, I guess you could say. So now we have to say what the guards are focused on protecting. Well, I guess the good option would be to say that they are going to protect the fleeing citizens. So I guess let's do that. In an act of selfless sacrifice, the guards gave their lives to aid the citizens. The survivors soon found shelter within the cold castle walls, safe from the slaughter for the moment. Those who could joined the castle crew to prepare the defense. So out of that, I probably got a few additional units from it. I don't know, workers or something like that. And I maybe lost some soldiers, I'm only assuming. If I chose to defend the supplies, then I probably would have lost the soldiers and got some extra supplies. The bloodshed continued unabated. Street by street, square by square, the Ismers overran the city, murdering anyone who didn't escape in time. Then they prepared their war engines, smashing the gate connecting the town and the castle. We thought things couldn't get any worse when we glimpsed a monstrous figure, or the barracks were destroyed. Let's fight the monster, I guess. The Karlgarders were led by their infamous nameless champion. Nothing I'd seen in my whole life was more terrifying than this beast-like figure. We'd all heard tales of the huge northerners, but nothing prepared us for the sight of this monstrous man walking up the streets of our city. In our hearts, we abandoned hope. We took shelter in the keep and took stock of the situation. Supplies were limited. No doubt the Ismers would soon attack again. The castle, the only part of Idring still uncaptured, was now under siege, and it was up to us to support our soldiers as they fight to stave off the enemy until relief comes. So don't worry, the entire game isn't like that. It's just really certain points where you need to make these kinds of story-based dialogue questions or choices. So move your character by clicking the left button at the desired location. You can move and rotate camera using WASD and QE or the mouse. So you can move the camera with WASD, you can rotate it with Q and E. That's pretty cool. So let's talk to this guy. You recognize the man before you. It's Bertram, a local carpenter. You're relieved to see he survived. It's clear, however, the events of the last day have scarred him in some terrible way. He just sits there, seemingly unaware of your presence, shivering and pressing his hand to his chest. Let's examine him. As you check him for wounds, you notice something in his tightly clenched hand. It's a small, scorched doll. You suddenly realize the man just lost his family. Let me just quickly change something here. Just 1 second. Okay, there we go. So I noticed that the game does not display certain textures. For some reason around this area there was just a black hole. So that happens sometimes with some games if the devs don't really concentrate that hard on their game engine. Certain game engines, when you are capturing video footage, simply don't display certain textures. So I just had to switch my display capture method from the one method to the other method, and now it should work. Now we shouldn't have any more problems. So fortunately I noticed that early on. But yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight by the devs, simply because it's the devs' responsibility to make sure that all capture methods are supported, and obviously there they missed the that one art asset type thing, like the display there, because it wasn't coming through on my display capture. So they need to fix that, definitely. There is nothing you can do for this kind of pain. Still, perhaps a warm meal might snap him out of the state of shock. However, the kitchen was destroyed by Izmir trebuchets. You'll have to build a fireplace first. With all the debris around, you will surely have no difficulty finding firewood and other useful materials. So we will probably now be introduced to a building kind of a mechanic. So we collected some stuff, and then we say take all. Now we have to go over there. Building, blah blah blah. So you can place it on the safe blue zone protected by the thick bastion walls, but it's a limited area, so you need to decide which building to protect. Okay, so the projectiles that are shot over the castle walls can hit this area, but not this area. So that's interesting. Well, I guess I can just squeeze this in there. It's not like a huge amount of stuff, but this thing that I'm building here only takes like 4 wood and 2 cloth or something like that. So it's a very cheap building, to be honest. So I think I'm rather gonna place my more expensive buildings here in the protected area. Okay, this is where you can craft new items. Once you select the scheme for the item you want to craft, you can see its properties on the right. To confirm your selection, use the button below. Some schemes can use a few alternative ingredients, vegetables instead of eggs, for example. You can change the ingredients to be added with the arrow at the top right of the ingredient slot. Okay. So I'm gonna take the wood and craft firewood. Or I can craft planks, or I can craft firewood from the planks. Okay, so what do I need to do? Chop some wood. Okay, so let's create one firewood. And then we pick up the firewood. Oh, so that's just the rubble. And what's all of this? Pantry, clean water, eggs. So there's even like maybe a hunger system, because I can drink water actually. That's interesting. Isn't there some more rubble that I can collect anywhere? The tutorial is probably blocking me. Okay, let's create a fireplace. Put the fireplace here somewhere. So you can zoom in as well. Make a meal. You can see here at the bottom of the screen, when I move and bring the object into the field of view, then it gets rendered. When it's not in the field of view, then it doesn't get rendered. So that's a little bit of an oversight again. They really need to make it so that you don't see that kind of thing. It's a little bit distracting, you know. Usually the way they do rendering is with a similar method, but they render anything just outside of the field of view. So instead, these developers have chosen to only render an object once it's completely within the field of view, and that is why we get this this kind of an effect over here, which is a little bit distracting, to be honest. They should really change it, even though they're probably not going to do that, because that would probably require a pretty hefty overhaul of their graphical engine. Bertram is still exactly where you left him, shivering and pressing the tattered doll to his chest. His eyes stare absently, pain frozen on his face. It's as though his mind just cannot escape what must have been the darkest moments. He barely notices your presence, but you manage to make him eat. Bite after bite, you can see life coming back into him. Finally, he puts down the empty bowl and falls asleep. It's safe to guess he hasn't shut his eyes since yesterday. Let him rest. Bertram's recovery would have been so much better if he had even a simple bed which you could build. Materials lying in the street. The gate connecting the city to the castle is damaged, but you recall there's a secret passage leading to the city market. You could use it and look for some supplies under the cover of night. But wait a minute, who is that man standing by the gate leading to the bastion? So, I don't know, like, They didn't even explain who is Flint. Like, I'm Flint. I'm controlling Flint right now. How did he survive? Where are all of the other people? Like, what are the chances of one single person surviving a siege, you know, in this entire area? So they don't explain anything of that. So that's a little bit of a concern, the fact that they leave so many unanswered questions. Here's another example where the graphical engine only renders the object once it's completely within the view of the camera. So that's another little thing that I don't like. We're probably going to be encountering that kind of a rendering thing quite a lot throughout this playthrough. The soldier standing before you is covered in blood, his eyes dim with exhaustion, the tunic on his armor torn to shreds. Only once he speaks, you recognize Galvik, an experienced garrison member known and liked by the citizens for his cordial attitude. He is stunned, speechless by the loss of his aunt and nieces, yet another blow falling on a man already exhausted. But there is no time to grieve. Ismers will attack soon, he says. We must resupply before it happens. Then he reveals that a group of soldiers is searching through the city as well. Shouldn't that be R? A group of soldiers are searching through the city as well. But they still haven't come back. That's why he needs your help. We need arrows, he says, quite a lot of them. Of course, it would take days to craft them from scratch. But how about the Boyer's workshop in the city? That's your chance. Harry says, Galvik, all our lives depend on you. He returns to the Bastion. And now it is night. So, scout the enemy lines, sleep on the ground, sleep in a bed. Scavenging preparations. Here you can make all the preparations before entering the city. The map displayed on the left shows secret paths from the castle. Only one of them is available at the moment, but if you'll find a way to unlock the others, you'll be able to start your night in different parts of the city. At the top of the right corner you can see the backpack of the selected character. Each of them having a different number of slots available. Think about what items you would need during the scavenge and move them from your common supplies to the backpack. Torches, shovels and weapons would be your usual choice. You have one torch, it might be useful. Okay, let's move the torch, I guess. And I don't know really what all of this other stuff would be useful for. I guess we need water. I'm not certain. They haven't told me like that I need water or food or anything like that, to be honest. Okay, start scavenging. Ooh, I'm tired. Scavenging. You've entered the despoiled city below the castle. You can move faster by double-clicking the left mouse button, but be warned, running is louder and the city is under occupation. It is definitely a good idea to move carefully and mind your surroundings. Okay, so I can't move with W, A, S, and D now. Okay, let's take all of that. Let's interact with that. You have found the Boyer's workshop. Needless to say, the Ismers have been here. The building has been scorched and looted. Its owner hangs from a nearby tree, a dozen arrows sticking from his body. As you gaze on the destruction, a chilling wind reminds you why you're here, to find arrows for soldiers. Only one way to find out. Let's step in. You prowl through the devastated workshop looking for the precious arrows among piles of broken parts and burnt out furniture. Time passes, but you can't find any. Just as you're about to give up, you spot a flash in the dark under a broken roof beam. Could it be? Yes, arrows for the Bastion defenders. You try to pull them out, but they seem stuck under the broken beams. You pull until they're all yours. Suddenly, the dislodged beam collapses on top of you with all its weight. Pain shoots through your whole body. It takes you ages to pull free. As you leave the workshop, you see something's changed. There's a cat right there for some reason. The Boyer's corpse has been taken down. An old woman leans over the body in the shade of the tree. She is sobbing, exhausted, and you guess she might be his mother. She had risked her life to cut her son down and bury him in a shallow grave. The woman struggles to move him, but she hurts herself with an axe. She hurts herself with the axe under his belt. How the hell do you manage to do that? Help bury the corpse. Why would we want to do that? But okay, logic would tell you that you can simply bury the corpse and then take the axe, or take the axe and bury the corpse. Obviously, if you think about it logically, you will help the woman bury the corpse and then you simply take the axe. So it's not a choice of either or. We can help the woman and still get the axe. That is what logic would tell you. So let's bury the corpse. The woman is startled to see you approach, but you see relief in her eyes as she realizes you want to help. Once the corpse is buried, she gives you a small sack and silently walks away into the dark. So the small sack contains 2 bundles of arrows and some valuables, and we get no axe. So seems the game does not follow logic for some reason. Let me see here, what's this? Clint is wounded, requiring bandages or rest. I have to dress the wound and rest. How do I do that? Well, I don't have anything like that, to be honest. What's this? So I don't think I can do anything about my wounds right now. I don't have any more space. Now, what can I do about that? Let's equip that. Nope, that won't help. It seems the wood can only be stacked in stacks of 5. That sucks. Let's drink some water. I'm not certain what that will do. I can't really see any kind of a effect that had. And my thing is full now, so how the hell... Like, what will I do? What can I do with such a small fucking inventory? Like, I can't really search for any more stuff. You need a shovel. I still wonder where's my health. Like, I'm damaged, you know, I'm lightly wounded. But I can't see health anywhere. So I wonder if I can come back to the city later again. Will all of the stuff here respawn or not? Okay, so I've taken all of that I can possibly take. A carcass. Let's put the carcass in there and take the wood. Wood is very important. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's go back. This is where the gate to High City, the wealthiest district of the city, used to be. Used to be because the gate struck by a trebuchet projectile has collapsed into rubble. No doubt there would be good pickings on the other side, but is it possible to clear a passage? Alas, the rubble is compressed and blocked by several collapsed ceiling beams. The way they are jammed, they could only be moved from the other side of the gate. Of course. It looks like the wonders of the famed High City will remain out of reach for now. Okay, so, like, can I go back or what? My inventory is full. As night turns to day, your character is easily visible to enemies. The trolls will be sent to your location soon. Additionally, scavenging is exhausting work and your character may not be able to run from the guards. Okay, how do I go back? Do I need to go here? Yes. Let's just see if there's not anything over here, for instance. So I've now encountered a few things that require a shovel. So it seems I definitely need to get a shovel as soon as possible. Okay, night was calm, the night was calm, but the enemy assault can come any day and we must prepare for it. We should use this chance to help the soldiers at the bastion. Okay, so now there is our supplies. See what this guy wants. It seems Bertram is feeling much better. The loss of the family has had a crushing impact on him that only time can fully heal. Nonetheless, finally, the carpenter has recovered from shock and is ready to rejoin the fight. It was Flint, right? He asks. I remember you visiting my workshop once or twice with Galvic. Thank you for your help. Now we should take care of the animals and find fresh water. Bertram is right. Fresh water is paramount. In a stroke of bad luck, the castle well took a direct hit from the trebuchets. Still, maybe if you clear away the debris, you might repair it somehow. You've got to try. You've unlocked a second character. You can switch between the characters with a tab key or by selecting them directly. Blah blah blah. You need to take care of their needs. Okay, let's see. So go clear that. You can go clear that. Let's take that. Let's take that. Let's take that. You removed the debris blocking the well, sadly to no avail. The well's base has been crushed by the trebuchet projectile. The shaft itself is blocked and there's no way you could clear it before dying of thirst. Perhaps you could find some potable water in the city, mark it under the cover of darkness. It's risky, but it's your best chance you'll have. Let's go over there. Sleep and regeneration. You can build beds in the keep to ensure better rest for your survivors. Bed rest also gives faster recovery to the wounds and sick. Remember to also give them bandages or medication if their condition is serious. Your character will only get back on their feet with a combination of rest and healing items. Build a new bed. So we can build one bed. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's go to the hen house. You need to manage your animals. They can be very useful. For example, well-fed chickens lay eggs. To feed the animals, select the food edible for them using the left mouse button. Blah blah blah. They will use it gradually as they get hungry. Should you run out of food, you can kill the animals to obtain meat. Okay, so I can use the greens and herbs. Or fodder. Let's put the fodder there. Rotten food. Let's put the rotten food there as well. Okay, we have one bed. Flint is wounded. Make a makeshift bandage and then put them to bed. Let's check the pigs. Let's give the egg to the pigs. Oh, that's almost no difference at all. How about this? Well, that's certainly a difference. Let's give that to them. So he's a little bit sleepy. I guess we will need to put him to bed. Even though I think he might be able to last one more night. I don't think it would be that bad if we made him keep going for one more night. Okay, why are you sad? It doesn't tell me why you are sad. So let's craft some arrows or send arrows. Okay, so click on the bastion. You can see reports about upcoming enemy assaults. Sometimes you will need to scout behind enemy lines to actually obtain this information. It is important to keep the bastion strength as high as possible in order to minimize defender losses and wall damage. Okay, so you can send stuff to the bastion. Blah blah blah. You can send arrows to the defenders to increase their chances to survive. Okay, so arrows. Let's put the arrows there. And they don't have enough melee weapons. Well, there's not much we can do about that, since we don't have any melee weapons. Okay, now let's see, what can I make? A workbench, butcher's table. Okay, let's create a workbench. Okay, then let's see. I can craft tools, a torch, and arrows with the workbench. I can do a dryer used to preserve meat, vegetables, and dry greens. I don't really want to do that. And I can't really build anything else. Okay, let's see here. What was I able to do here? Okay, so I can create a meal if I want to. I guess let's create a meal. And then let's make a makeshift bandage. Okay, well, we need to use our other guy to make the makeshift bandage. Okay, so it's becoming night again. I'm just gonna wait until this guy is finished searching, then I'm gonna send him to bed. Okay, how do I... Okay, sleep in bed, scavenge the city. Okay, so he's gonna sleep in the bed. Bertram is going to scavenge the city. Unfortunately, Bertram only has 8 capacity, which is very little, but that's life. I'm not gonna take anything with me this time because it was pretty damn useless to take water and a torch with last time, so I'm not gonna take anything with this time, since literally everything that you take with you is a waste. It basically means that you're going to take one less thing with you back. Okay, we get some dirty water. We get some cloth, that's very good. We get some other type of cloth, which is good. What's going on here? Okay, so you need a torch in order to get past there, I'm assuming. Okay, so I get that. So that is where you need to use a torch. But we will have more than enough stuff to loot in any way. We don't need to get to there. Our inventory will be full enough simply from these normal looting things. We don't need that. Oh, we get a shovel. Oh, my inventory is already full. Okay, let's eat that. Come on, use it. Okay, he doesn't want to use it, so we're gonna drop that. We're gonna take the shovel. Shovel is very important. We get more water. Let's put the dirty water there, take the clean water. Obviously water is very important. So I'm running, but I'm not sure where the guards are, so I might end up running into guards somewhere. Okay. Anything we can throw away? Materials, greens. Nope, I can't really throw any of this away, it's too important. Let's clear this obstacle. Even if I don't pass the obstacle right now, on my following times that I come back to the city, I can then go past it. Okay, so the shovel broke. I could have seen that coming a mile away. Okay, so that's the meat from earlier. More water. Okay, so there's a soldier. Okay, so I guess we need to go back now. So now, fortunately, I know how the soldiers look, and basically like you can run just about anywhere, but like once you see a soldier, then you should not run anymore, otherwise you're going to trigger them. Okay, so Flint is now back, or actually he needs a makeshift bandage. Let's create a makeshift bandage for him. Okay, he feels better, but he's thirsty. Go drink some clean water. I now have quite a lot of water, 23. So that's good. And then let's see here, workbench. Now let's craft a new place. We can craft a dryer or a butcher's table, or we can make some planks. I think we need to make some planks. How do we make planks again? I forgot. Siege. The enemy is firing siege engines. A flying rock can cause serious damage when it hits a character or workshop, but some of these stones can be collected and used to strengthen the walls of the bastion. The defenders do everything they can to defend the castle against invaders. The items you provide them give them a light of hope for survival. The arrangement of bars and numbers represent the distribution of forces in combat. After the battle is over, they will be refreshed and the battle summary will be displayed. Okay, run away. Holy shit, that rogue-lite almost hit me, and it seemingly was following me around. So I've slowed down time just for now, so that I can react quicker. Take some rubble. Let's go clear out that over there. I want to create some planks. Yes, craft planks. And let's make 14 planks. Oh, so he's actually crafting one at a time. Holy shit, that means that if you want to craft a bunch of stuff, then it's gonna take a considerable amount of time. Okay, the battle has ended. Deliver bandages for wounded soldiers. Okay, so you come over here. One wounded soldier and -2 bundles of arrow. The enemy assault has started, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, let's see. I don't know what it does to upgrade this, but let's do it. I don't really know what it does. Our storage space where we keep blah 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 unlocks construction, rainwater, furnace, garden plot, rat trap and armory. That seems very good. Let's go ahead and do that. Armory and rainwater collector, all of that kind of stuff sounds very good. And then we need to deliver bandages. How do we get bandages? I'm not certain. Okay, let's speed time up a little bit. Okay, so it's done. Now I can craft all of these stuff. Rainwater collector, that will be very good. But I need more cloth or whatever that is. Rat trap, gain some edible meat. That will also be good. Garden plot will give me a steady supply of food. And then with the armory I can create axe, a bow and light armor. Okay, that's interesting. Dryer. Now I don't need dryer, to be honest. Okay. Let's go over here, see what the pigs have for me. Okay, and you are done. So how do we create bandages? What's this? Fertilizer. Okay. Bandages. How do I do that? Some more eggs. I really don't know how to create bandages. Obviously the stump, you can create wood and firewood. And then at the workbench, let's actually create 2 of those. The workbench you can create tools and stuff like that, but I don't know where to create bandages. Is it here? Nope, you can just create another bed there. That's not gonna help me. I don't see bandages. Oh, makeshift bandage. Herbal workshop. Okay, so I need to create a herbal workshop, which I can't do right now. And I need more firewood. So let's go create some more firewood. Okay, night has come. So that guy is exhausted, and this guy we can send out. So I want to take my torch with me, I think. Simply because I can then unlock one of those quote-unquote hidden places. This is probably gonna consume the torch. Yes, indeed it does. I don't think there's anything that way. What's this? You approach the gate from the market to the harbor. It would be incredibly convenient shortcut for your nightly journeys. The door, however, is solid and definitely shut if Izmirs haven't been able to breach it. You need a key. Where could it be? I don't know, but we can search around a little bit, but it's probably way more deeper into the city where we will get the key. It probably won't be around here. Oh, there's a guard there. It seems the guards have now come a little bit more out of hiding. So I need to be quite careful. Damaged light armor, dirty water. I don't want materials. I do want vegetables. Let's eat the vegetables. And then take that. Okay, planks is not very useful. Wood is much more useful since you can create a lot of planks from a single piece of wood. The wood is much more useful. Okay, let's see. I don't really need that. Let's take that. And water, I do have a shitload of water. But okay, I guess we can go back. Unfortunately, we are a little bit low on time. There we go. Okay, that was relatively successful. I got a bunch of wood. Galvic again, he looks even worse for wear than before. The last fight must have been intense. What last fight? Oh, okay, so the previous night. He tells you there are wounded soldiers after the Izmir's assault. The defenders desperately need bandages. Also, their weapons need repair. That's not the worst of it. Scouts have seen soldiers at the Sangmar Empire to the south. Sangmar is the Sangmar fleet here to attack our lands, or are they going to strike the Ismars back? For now, they're a great unknown. Having told you all he could, Galvnik turns to return to the Bastion. Looking at him stumble in exhaustion, you can only wonder if you will see him again after the next battle. Okay, what's this? Yes, bandages. I know I need bandages, but I mean, what can I do? Okay, meals. Okay, so they want meals. For one meal, I can make another 2 meals, so that's no problem. I will be able to deliver that 3 meals that they are requesting. Let's make 2 meals. Okay, then you go over there and repair workshop. Repair workshop. Do I want to do a repair workshop? There was something else that I wanted to do with the stuff. I can't remember exactly what it was. Repair workshop. I don't think I want to do a repair workshop right now. I would rather want to do the herbal workshop. Herbal workshop will be a lot more useful, in my opinion. You are creating the toolboxes right now. Yeah, you created the toolboxes. Let's create one more torch. And then you... I think you're already done with the meals, yes. And then arrows, I think. I think they were asking for arrows. Yeah, but for that I'm gonna need planks. Okay, so you create planks. Okay, let's give them this. And then arrows. Holy shit, the arrows actually require iron bars. I didn't realize that. Bastion. Let's send the food. Okay, so we can send that. What will the broken axe help you? Broken axe won't help you. And send the food. And we can send water. We can send more water. There we go. And that's basically all that we can send right now. Okay, so yeah, our next thing on the agenda is to build a herbal workshop. But for the herbal workshop we need materials, quite a lot. So we can't do that right now. Allows turning organic materials into fertilizer. Well, I'm already getting fertilizer from the pigs, so that's fine. So yeah, basically I just now need to wait until I get enough materials, and I need some more cloth in order to create bandages, all that kind of stuff. I can create 2 more of these maybe. But yeah, I think we have pretty much now seen the core game loop, if I can call it that. You basically have to build up your base. Obviously this base will eventually look a lot better, since you're gonna build your repair workshop, your herbal workshop, drying rack. You're gonna repair your well over here. You constantly have to feed your pigs and your chickens to get resources from them. You need to build more beds, since obviously eventually you're gonna have more people. And then in order to do all of this, you need to go out at night and do scavenging runs, as they call it. And obviously that involves sneaking around and trying to not get caught, obviously. And you also need to keep your bastion stocked with armaments and stone and stuff like that, and food and water, obviously, so that they can constantly win the battles. And you can see here when the next battles are coming. And obviously if you fail to give them enough armaments and fortification stuff and food and water, then you're gonna lose the battle, and then the next battle, and the next battle, and the next battle, until you basically get destroyed. Like your bastion is gonna fail, and they are gonna come here and mess your shit up. So that's basically the core game loop. It's pretty cool. It's not really my kind of a game. It's very slow. I don't mind at all playing city builders, like for instance Anno. I really like Anno. I'm a big fan of the Anno games. I'm a big fan of Age of Empires, you know, stuff like that. I really don't mind city builders. But this is a city builder that is on a whole other level with regards to like the pacing. The pacing is incredibly slow, simply because there's basically no fighting ever. Like, you're never gonna fight anyone. The Bastion thing is kind of like fighting, but it's not really fighting. It's like a distant, remote type of fighting, you know? So that really can't even qualify as fighting, to be honest. You're just constantly feeding your Bastion with resources so that they can do the fighting. So that just makes the game very, very slow. All of the sneaking around is very slow. The base building is very slow. Things take a long time to craft, obviously. You spend like minutes and minutes just crafting 10 planks, for instance. So can I get through here now or not? Why can't I get through there? I've burned down the corpses that you asked me to burn down. So why can't I get through there now? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, the game is very, very, very slow. And it's just not like Anno or even maybe like City Skylines. Obviously, City Skylines is much faster than this. It has a much higher pace than this. So I don't know, the game just feels very, very slow, and I'm not feeling as if I'm enjoying the game, you know. With a game like this, you really have to kind of savor the core game loop. Since you're not getting a lot of enjoyment, there's not a lot of stuff happening, everything is very, very slow. And for me, the core game loop is just not really enjoyable, you know. It feels very slow and just honestly not rewarding. When I play City Builder, I want to get some reward. I want to be able to move up in ranks or move up in the ages, like with Age of Empires. Obviously you can move up in ages, you know. There's actually progression. Your city evolves and advances, and it's the same with Anno as well. With most city builders there's actual progression, but with this game, honestly, there's none. Like, there's very, very little actual progression and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, the game just feels very, very slow, and I don't know, it's not enjoyable for me, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really enjoy the game. When considering to buy the game, sure, it is obviously useful to take into consideration the price of a game. Like, does the price of the game stop you from buying the game outright? You know, I won't spend $80 on most games, you know. But if the game is very, very fun, if it's like a fucking fantastic game that you get a lot of enjoyment out of, then yeah, sure, I might consider paying $80 for a game. But if the game is not enjoyable, like, honestly, this game is not enjoyable for me, then why would I even spend $20 or $10 on the game, you know, if the game is not enjoyable at all? And yeah, honestly, this game is not enjoyable to me. I mean, you're doing stuff and you're slowly advancing your base. Your characters don't advance at all. You're just really keeping them alive. That's really all that you're doing. You're just keeping your characters alive. That's really a big part of the core game loop as well. Just surviving. So it's just really a schlep. It's a schlep of a game, and I don't enjoy games that are schleps, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really recommend the game, to be honest. The price is not yet revealed of the game, but I'm working on the assumption that it is gonna cost probably $20, $25 or $30. I would never pay more than $30 for this game. Simply going on what content there is in the game, you know. The graphics are okay. There's a few issues like with the resolution and the fact that you can't change the graphics. You only have medium, high or low. The fact that the game renders objects strangely. It's not a intuitive type of rendering. That is distracting. So yeah, there's just really a few issues with the game as a whole, to be honest. And I really can't recommend that you even pay $30 for this game. I wouldn't pay $30 for this game personally, since I just don't find the game to be entertaining. And I play most games, 95% of games I play for enjoyment. There are some games that I play for the story, for instance, and the story might not be enjoyment. The story is simply progression, and you simply want to find out what happens next. But yeah, this is not one of those games, unfortunately, and unfortunately I can't really recommend that you play this game, since I don't enjoy this game. But certainly, if the game looks fun, if this game looks like it would be enjoyable for you, you can absolutely check out the game. The game will be releasing in a couple of days from me posting this video, and it should cost around $30, I'm expecting. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That is Siege Survival Gloria Victis. Check it out if you want. I will put a link to the game in the description below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.